You're listening to the audio portion of Workshop Wednesdays. Workshop Wednesdays is a free live discussion about topics affecting accountants, bookkeepers, and business owners. You can join the ABO group in Facebook to participate live Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Time. Just search for ABBO in Facebook. This podcast is brought to you by Schoolofbookkeeping.com, where you will learn, grow, and build a thriving bookkeeping practice. We have hundreds of lessons with almost every aspect of the industry. Start your free month today at Schoolofbookkeeping.com. Well, welcome to another Workshop Wednesday, casual conversations for serious workflows, brought to you by Schoolofbookkeeping.com, which is all about helping you learn QuickBooks your way, however you see fit. So today, again, I'm flying solo. Rachel is living it up in Mexico with her daughter. So we wish her well and a safe and speedy return back to the workshop. So we're wrapping up our series on Intuit Accountant Suite and the various changes. We talked about the change that is occurring. We talked about navigating around inside of Intuit Accountant Suite. We talked about the Books Close, which is a feature for Core or Accelerate. And then last time we talked about the Client Insights. So today we're going to be wrapping all this up and talking about some of the things that Intuit has mentioned as in their future roadmap for Intuit Accountant Suite. So first thing I will do is share my screen if I can find the toggle. There it is. All right. So the first thing that is new, the thing about this being in beta is kind of one of those things that there's a lot of changes going on at the same time, right? So some of the things that we saw that were coming soon just a couple weeks ago are now live and happening, right? So one of the biggest changes is this Intuit Intelligence, which is labeled as a beta, but this is now something that you're able to now ask questions. We talked about this a little bit yesterday on QB Power Hour, and didn't even see this yesterday. So this is how fast things are changing here. But what you'll see now is inside of QuickBooks Online is this little icon. It's a companion where you can ask questions, very similar to asking ChatGPT. Ask me anything, but it'll be a sidebar. And the way that you'll indicate, or the way that Intuit is indicating this feature or companion, is this icon here. I'll try to zoom in just a little bit. Okay, there we go. So you see this icon, which is like a gradiating blue with an eye in the middle, right, to give you an idea. That's Intuit Intelligence. But you're able to ask questions, and in Core, you get 200 prompts per month where you can just ask questions back and forth. I believe very similar to ChatGPT, where you go back and forth with ChatGPT and the AI. Each time that you type something, that is considered a prompt. I assume that's how they're metering this sort of thing. Time will tell. But the difference between Accelerate and Intuit Accountant Suite Core is the number of prompts that you get, right? So you get 1,000 prompts with Accelerate and 200 with Core. And then this is also, something that you'll see inside of your clients, whereas what we talked about yesterday, you get 25 questions or prompts per month. And the natural question is, what happens when you exceed that? Well, I'd hate to say something and then it'd be wrong, or it's right today, but they change their mind tomorrow. What we talked about yesterday was you can add 100 additional questions or prompts for $10. So if that maintains the same thing for Intuit Accountant Suite, there will be a charge for more questions. So that's I don't know what that will be. All of these things are not being charged during the beta process anyway until May 1st. So they're probably trying to figure out how much people are using it before they put a price tag on it. So we'll see about that. But you'll be able to see this companion. You have an allotment of prompts and questions. So I recommend just checking it out and seeing if that works well. But here, difference in the Intuit intelligence between the two, um, you'll be able to ask uh, any client's books without switching into their books. So you'll get those insights uh, inside of Intuit Accountant Suite. So that'll be a nice function. Whereas in Core, it's really for your chat for your firm's books, right? Without going into the client. So and then this client portfolio comparisons, which is one of those coming soon features. So this is something that's future facing. So unsure what that will actually look like. But the whole idea is, again, as we had kind of talked and unpacked the difference between QBOA and Intuit Accountant Suite, is this is all in service to not having to go into your client's books to get some information, right? So anything that will allow that to occur, that's where this direction is headed inside of Intuit Accountant Suite. So we had talked about the difference between Accelerate and Core. So we want to talk a little bit about the things that are coming down the pike, as far as what Intuit had talked about and announced at Intuit Connect back in October. It seems like so long ago, and a lot has changed since then. But the way that they were talking about, things that you'll see in Intuit Accountant Suite will fall around capacity planning, right? So um, as as an Intuit Accountant Suite user, right, you have the your books, you have QBO, Payroll, Elite, and you also have Intuit. I'm sorry, QuickBooks Time Elite service, and they provide that all for free, right? So the advantage of all of this is all going to be boiling down to deeper integration, and if you are using all three of those for your own firm, you'll be able to utilize the QuickBooks Time for you know scheduling people at your firm, right? So um, that will feed into uh, planning, right? And the big advantage of some of these things is going to boil down to you being able to proactively plan for time off, right? So if one of your team members is scheduling, you have that schedule function inside of QuickBooks Time, where you can plan out, you know, capacity planning for the work that you're doing. So then you'll start to see some things where QuickBooks could potentially alert you. It's like, hey, you've got tax season coming up, or 1099 season coming up, or um, this is typically, there's a lot of work being done at a certain amount of time, and looking forward, some people have time off, right? So what you might be able to do is what they were laying out the possibility of these sort of things is the ability to transition that work or assign that work while it's being off, while someone is off, to somebody else, right? So you'll be able to quickly transition that from somebody else to somebody else from somebody that might be taking some time off or some planned time off. Or you might start to see things where you might be doing more work than you're capable of doing, burning the candle at both ends, so to speak. And if that's the case, QuickBooks could potentially help alleviate that by, you know, if you have, a capacity problem where, somebody's left the firm, or somebody needs to be trained in your firm, maybe you can supplement that with some Intuit service, right? And that could be, you know, enrolling with, the QuickBooks Live Assisted, right, for some of those handling things. And I'm sure there will be, a variety of levers that can be pulled, which will make it easy. If we're seeing all of this capacity planning come in to accelerate, you a lot of times it'll just be a drop down, assign it to this person, or things of that nature. So looking forward to seeing how this plays out, in the future. But that is one of the major things that they're kind of working on. So to do that, you have these user groups that was coming soon. Now it's in beta, where you can assign teams and clients in bulk based on the custom role access that you've got assigned at your firm. So those are some of the forward facing, the future roadmap of Intuit Accountant Suite. And all of this hinges on you having all of your clients in one place. And so to help deal with that, sometimes you've been invited as a team member for someone else's firm, or you have multiple uh, QuickBooks Online accountant suites under the same login, or maybe you have multiple logins and one has a certain number of clients, or another one has other clients, and you're finding that you're having to switch companies in order to do all of that. So Intuit has resurrected a feature or function called realm consolidation. And so you probably will hear, if you haven't heard about it before, you probably will in the next coming months, because the whole idea is you're going to get the most benefit of having all of your clients in one place. And if your clients aren't in one place, then you've got this smattering of experience, right? So if you've got two or more uh, Intuit Accountant Suites and they're both on Accelerate, now you've got two charges for Intuit Accountant Suite, and nobody wants to pay for something twice when they can only pay for it once, because right now the Intuit Accountant Suite Accelerate will be $149 a month per firm, right? So if you've got three firms and they're all on Intuit Accountant Suite Accelerate, now you've got three charges when you didn't have to. So that's where this realm consolidation comes in play. I put in the comments a resource that Intuit has created, and I've got it up here, about consolidating your realms in Intuit Accountant Suite. And it's a pretty good guide, based on my experience when Intuit tried this a while ago, because that was the case, right? They had a lot of people, a lot of accountants had multiple firms uh, for a variety of reasons, but typically, you want all of those things in one place. And there was a lot of friction when it came to consolidating clients into one realm, and for good reason, right? Because the billing information, who's paying for the subscription, is one big thing. Who is the accountant lead, right? Like who is the person or the team member that accepted that accountant invitation first, right? They are designated as the accountant lead. Um, so a lot of these things have they've had some lessons learned when they tried this the first time. So I think this resource is pretty straightforward when you truly understand it, right? I have had some experience with this first attempt. So if you've never had this whole idea of realm consolidation, if you don't have some kind of PTSD about it, um, then it's all new. So that some of this stuff is going to be, you're hearing about it for the first time, right? So there's some key terminology that they lay out here. You know what QBO stands for, what QBOA stands for, what is a realm, right? So we want to understand the whole idea of what a realm is, right? It's an alternative term for the QuickBooks Online Accountant or Intuit Accountant Suite account. Now, um, you know, it's essentially, in simplest terms, it's the company ID, right, for the firm, which you have a company ID for every QuickBooks Online subscription. It's a 16-digit number that represents at Intuit what is that account. You know, what is that subscription? Is it QuickBooks Online? And then the thing is different, right? Than just a company ID, right? Because you can have now services associated with that company ID, right? And that's why they call it more of like a realm, because there are services attached to that number, and that's really what we're referring to. But in this concept of realm consolidation, it's really just the company ID or the firm ID of the QuickBooks Online Accountant or Intuit Accountant Suite. So, in retrospect, you're going to have a source realm, which is the realm that will have clients that you don't want to have in that realm, and then you have the target realm, which is, you know, the single source of truth for all of your clients, right? So you're going to need to identify which client, or sorry, which firm is the source where you're getting clients from, and the target of where you're sending clients to, right? So ultimately, you want to have those identified. PAPP is the Pro Advisor Preferred Pricing that is available for accountants. That is a huge consideration, because if you have firm billed clients on both your source and your target, that could be a sticking point, and you want to make sure that those things are corrected before trying to transfer the clients back and forth. Third party billing, that's QBO's billing subscription being paid for by another firm, which is not quite the same as the Pro Advisor Preferred Pricing, but it certainly could be a factor, right? So there could be something like, with third party billing, if they purchase their QuickBooks Online subscription from Apple or Google, you know, from the Google Play Store, that's a third party billing. That's not Intuit, and it's not the accountant. So you've got now another factor of the billing that could be potentially causing an issue. And then the third party apps. So that's the integrations that they might have connected to the QuickBooks Online account. So here's the biggest thing that you want to make sure that you're aware of before even trying this, right? So today the transfer is for QuickBooks Online Accountant to Intuit Accountant Suite, right? So that's one thing. Make sure that you're in your firm books and rev share. So if you have set up the firm books for the firm in both, like if you have them under both, they can't be consolidated. Or if your target firm, your target realm that you want to keep doesn't have the books in it, then that's going to be something that you need to consider, right? Because the firm books in the source, right, that you're pulling those clients from, that does not move, right? Client connected apps says transfer seamlessly. which makes sense because those are connected by the user inside of the subscription. So I can't see a reason that would be a problem, but I've been surprised before. So we'll truth remain time will tell, right? Firm users will need to reconnect accountant connected apps, right? So if you have connected an app as an accountant, then then that's going to need to be readdressed after the fact, right? We recommend that you do not move Intuit ProConnect tax clients to a different realm. So if you're in a firm that does taxes, and you have under that target realm uh, ProConnect tax clients, it's not recommended that you do this because ProConnect Tax is a completely separate service, and that's tied to the realm that's associated with that firm, and that's kind of like leapfrogging different Intuit site services in that case, and you probably don't want to do that. So, saying here, you should not move clients with an open ProConnect Tax online return to another realm. It's just straight, right? Tax documents and history cannot be moved. So they're providing some context as to why you might not want to do that. Okay, so if a client is on both the source and the target realms, the realm that has the billing relationship needs to remain, right? So if the target realm has the client file with the billing relationship, do not transfer that from the source realm. Alternatively, if the source realm has the client file with the billing relationship, then delete it from the target realm prior to moving it to the source realm. So this is one of those considerations that you want to make sure that you're aware of before moving things around. Right? And then this last one, if the client file is a PAPP firm billed and transferred to the target realm, it takes up to 2 billing cycles to reflect it in the system. So prorates and credits may appear on both the source and target after the transfer. And then another note here of Intuit Enterprise Suite will be transferable via the client transfer tool in early 2026, which we're in. So don't know what early means because we are in it. All right. So here's things to consider about choosing the target realm. So before determining the realm to opt into Intuit Accountant Suite, consider the following best practices. So if you're using your books, have rev share or use ProConnect, it's best that they're all in the same realm, right? So if you've signed up for QuickBooks Revenue Share or and are using the your books to track your own books inside of QBOA, and also using ProConnect. That would be the ideal circumstance if all those three were under the same realm. And when you've got them split between multiple realms, then that's when it gets a little tricky, right? If any two of the above are in separate realms, we recommend using the in-product help icon to contact customer support. So talk to Intuit about that, and they can help you maybe give a better game plan, right? Or the issue may still be that they're not able to be moved, or you can pick one or the other um, to move them over and be a little more prescriptive on how you move these clients over. If you only have one of the above, we recommend that QBOA with that functionality be opted into an Accountant Suite. So if it's only one, the yearbooks, the RevShare, or the ProConnect, that's the one that you would choose if you don't participate in all three of those. If you don't have any of the above, then consider opting into QBOA with the most client files attached. So that's the next thing. So if you don't have any of these things, if you're not using your books, if you're not using the RevShare, and you're not using ProConnect, then just the one that has the most clients, because then you're not going to have as many clients to transfer. So here's the process checklist. Planning, that's all those things to consider above. Determining the main target realm, considering the timing of the move, given the compliance and deadlines and holidays, and communicate the plan to your staff, right? Because the staff is going to be impacted by that, especially if they're only on one realm and not the other, right? You prepare the target realm, so you confirm that you've opted into Intuit Accountant Suite. You'll see that logo in the upper left, or you're going to be green, darker green across the top. Confirm that the firm billing is set up, and recreate any custom user roles that you have for your team. Then the move. So you become familiar with the Intuit Accountant Suite. Initiate the transfer by logging into the target realm. So this is the one that's going to be receiving all of the clients as the company admin or primary admin. Ideally, if you're the primary admin on both, that would be perfect. That would be the best case scenario. But you can do it as a company admin in the target realm. So you navigate to the gear icon and click Transfer Client. Note the source realm, right? So you choose the source realm. You must be the primary admin of that source realm. So that's why, ideally you'd want to be the primary on both. Understand, of course, if that may not be the current case, but you can go through the process of making yourself the primary admin if you're working with a cooperative primary admin. We've got blogs and resources on School of Bookkeeping all about that if you need it. But then you're going to be choosing the source realm. Associated users on those clients will be copied to the target realm. So if you choose to do so, right? If any two are in separate realms, we'll recommend using the end product help in contacting customer support on that one. If the user already exists in the target, their access to the client will transfer to the client, with the client, excuse me. And then there's a transfer log that will occur. If you encounter an error, reach out to customer support for that. If you have more than one source realm, then you would repeat this again, right? So if you've got multiple QBOAs or Intuit Accountant Suites with multiple clients that you want consolidated under one, you would just have to repeat that process again. And then, if you need to, invite the firm users still requiring access into the target realm that weren't copied over during those client transfers. And then the last part is informing the staff their move is complete and the applicable QBO files are now accessible in the target realm. That's it. It sounds simple enough, right? Like all I want to do is move my clients into one realm. But because of all of these considerations, these things to consider before billing, user access, apps that are connected, other services, like payroll, those types of things, payments, um, rev share, all of those things are potential sticking points to all of this. Because all you do inside of QBOA or Intuit Accountant Suite is go to the gear and click on this transfer clients icon right here or option, and that will start the whole process. So what do you think, right? See, do you think the juice is worth the squeeze of doing all of this to have this into one place? My question of the day, right, is, as we've kind of talked about this whole thing is, what do you think about all of these changes in Intuit Accountant Suite? Continue the conversation in the comments of Facebook or YouTube, wherever you watching or hearing about this today. And we'll see you next time on the workshop Wednesday, where we'll be talking. Hopefully, Rachel will be back, but we'll be talking with Rachel about really the needs of an accounting firm portal, right? Like, what is it you need as an accounting firm so that you have communications with your clients? Is this being handled by Intuit Accountant Suite, or do you typically need to look elsewhere? So we'll see you next time on the Workshop Wednesday, and hope everyone has a great day. And that wraps up another insightful episode of Workshop Wednesday, brought to you by Schoolofbookkeeping.com. We hope you enjoyed today's discussion and took away some valuable tips and strategies to enhance your bookkeeping practice. Remember, if you want to stay ahead in the world of bookkeeping and accounting, be sure to visit Schoolofbookkeeping.com. With a wide range of courses, resources, and expert guidance, you'll find everything you need to sharpen your skills and boost your career. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode. And if you enjoyed today's show, please take a moment to leave us a review on your podcast platform of choice. Your reviews help us reach more listeners and continue to bring you the best content every week. If you have questions or topics you'd like us to cover, reach out to us on social media or send us an email at support@schoolofbookkeeping.com. We love hearing from our listeners and are always looking for new ideas to explore. Thanks for tuning in to Workshop Wednesday. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep excelling in your bookkeeping journey. I am Dan DeLong, and we'll see you next time.